Imagine this. You've just finished a 12-hour hospital shift. You're exhausted, starving, carrying cold takeout in the seat next to you. All you want is to pull into your driveway and collapse inside your home. But instead, there's a giant SUV blocking you completely, and your neighbor tells you to just park on the street. That was the night I finally snapped, and taught him a $300 lesson he'll never forget. If you've ever dealt with a disrespectful neighbor or wished karma would catch up to someone who constantly crossed your boundaries, smash that like button right now. Subscribe Revenge Path, because this is one of the most satisfying revenge stories you'll hear today. I live in a quiet little cul-de-sac. It's not glamorous. No white picket fences, no fancy gated entry. Just your average suburban neighborhood. My driveway is nothing special, but it fits exactly 2 cars. Mine and my husband's. Perfectly. That space is our little slice of order in an otherwise hectic world. And trust me, order matters. Because I'm a nurse. Some days I come home absolutely wiped out. My feet throbbing, my scrubs smelling like antiseptic, my body begging for rest. By the time I reach my street, the only thought in my mind is sliding into that driveway, kicking off my shoes and collapsing inside. For the most part, neighbors respected each other's space. Except for one. Let's call him Jack. First, it seemed harmless. The first time I noticed a strange car in my driveway, I thought, maybe they're lost. Maybe it's a mistake. Jack's brother was standing outside, and when I asked, he waved it off. Oh, just a sec, I'll move it. Fine. I let it go. But a week later it happened again. This time, Jack explained with that smug little half-smile. Oh, my buddy's just dropping something off. They'll only be a minute. And there it was, that subtle little tone. Like I was the one overreacting. Like I should feel bad for even asking about my own driveway. Over the next few weeks, it became a pattern. I'd come home bone-tired, ready to collapse, and boom, a random car sitting in my driveway. One night after grocery shopping, I pulled up and saw a giant pickup truck right there in my spot. No room for me. My arms were full. 5 heavy bags, cutting into my fingers. I had to park halfway down the street and trudge back, each step heavier than the last. By the time I reached my door, my frustration was boiling over. And what did Jack say when I confronted him? That same casual grin. Oh yeah, sorry. They'll be gone soon. Like he was doing me a favor by acknowledging it at all. But the night that broke me, that pushed me past the point of patience, was a Friday night after one of the longest shifts I'd worked in months. 12 straight hours. My back ached, my eyelids were heavy, and in the passenger seat was a warm bag of takeout I'd been dreaming about for hours. I turned onto my street, already tasting those fries in my head, and froze. A massive, gleaming white SUV was parked dead center in my driveway. Not angled. Not off to the side. Well, parked like it owned the place, blocking me completely. I felt a mix of disbelief and rage rising in my chest. My knuckles whitened around the steering wheel. My stomach growled with hunger, but my jaw clenched with fury. I got out, still in scrubs, hair sticking to my forehead, and marched up to Jack's door. I knocked. Nothing. I knocked again, louder this time. Still nothing. Finally I called his phone. When he picked up, his voice was maddeningly casual. Oh yeah, that's my in-laws. They'll only be there a couple hours. Just park on the street, it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. That sentence echoed in my head like a taunt. In that moment something in me snapped. The exhaustion, the disrespect, the repeated slights. It all piled up. I wasn't going to haul my tired body and my cold food down the street again. I wasn't going to let Jack laugh behind that smug smile. So I made a decision. Called a tow truck. And let me tell you, it was the most empowering phone call of my life. Where I live, if someone blocks your private driveway, you can have them towed immediately. No warnings. No waiting. And I knew this law by heart, because I had researched it after the second time Jack's guests parked in my space. 20 minutes later, the tow truck pulled up. The driver hopped out, professional and efficient, like he'd done this 100 times. Chains clinked, hydraulics hissed, and before I'd even finished half my fries, that giant SUV was rolling away into the night. About an hour later, there was a furious pounding at my door. I opened it to find Jack. His face beet red, his in-laws shouting behind him. His voice cracked with rage as he accused me. "You didn't have to take it that far." I stood there calm, almost eerily calm, as he spewed his anger. And then, with the quietest, sharpest voice I could muster, I replied, "You told me it wasn't a big deal. So I treated it like it wasn't a big deal." And I shut the door in his face. His in-laws had to pay nearly $300 to get their SUV back. $300. And funny enough, ever since that night, my driveway has stayed perfectly, beautifully clear. Not even for just a sec. That SUV being hauled away wasn't just a car moving. It was every ounce of disrespect, every smug smile, every inconvenience, lifted off my shoulders. The sound of that tow truck driving away. Pure sweet justice. And Jack's shocked, humiliated face when I gave him his own words back. Oh, that was priceless. Here's the thing, boundaries matter. People like Jack rely on others being too polite, too afraid of making things awkward. But sometimes standing your ground is the only way to get respect. And in this case, it cost him $300 to finally learn the lesson. If this story gave you chills, smash that like button and tell me in the comments, what's the pettiest or most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? And of course, don't forget to subscribe for more stories that prove one simple truth. Karma always finds its way back.